All right, man. All right, all right, all right. It is a special edition, man. Monday night. Monday night is not football, it is basketball. This is Polk Hoops. We are your number one source for high school basketball in the state of Florida. And we coming to y'all special edition tonight. Uh, but we figured that you guys would not mind since we got the state has finally released the and most much anticipated playoff bracket. So we're here to talk about it. Got the All State PG, got the All State coach. What's going on with y'all fellas?
Hey,
Coach.
a whole lot of crying.
Hey, I almost put
Whole
my
lot of
glasses on, man. Yeah.
what Tommy Davis said on In Living Color. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? I'm
Just
here.
missed, huh?
Listen,
All right,
I
man. Well, we
start
got
with,
we
start with the tumor take. Y'all parents got to get out y'all feelings.
better jump right in it. Tuma take, go ahead. You got it, boss.
I got attacked, got cussed out. I guess at the Pope at the Mosaic by somebody. You know, it just ain't that serious, man. It ain't that serious.
Well, we didn't think it was that serious, but it
I didn't even know I got cussed out, man. My partner had to tell me that somebody cussed me out. Said F Tuma. Hey, me and him talk basketball just on the real talk, and I ain't even know that it was said till we had a phone conversation, man. I just sat back and watched the tournament. That's all I did that day.
just watch basketball, and it's still F Tuma.
Yeah. So my Tuma's take is what I spoke on that I hadn't had a chance because I've been crazy busy. Is how do coaches define and get out of hitting what we call the peak or the brick wall and they reach their peak? How what is y'all definition of hitting the peak? Because I might have something totally different.
When you get to a point where I guess you stop winning, you stop playing well, you start struggling. That could be you have hit the wall because there should be continuous progression throughout the season. You know, the more games you play, the more practice that you have. But if you start losing games, if you start doing the same thing, if you start kind of regressing, then I would say that would probably be the definition of hitting the peak.
Billy D.
um, when you're at your peak, I mean, you're playing your best ball. Everything falls together, like chemistry. You're practicing well. You're playing well. A lot of positive things that are going on in the program that you build off of.
Are you working?
And
Oh,
once adversity hits, and adversity comes in different ways. It can come in injuries. It can come in losing. It can come with internal battles such as people crying for playing time, selfishness, parents and everything like that. So
I like that one because that's what I call hitting peak. Is
yeah,
when the players get personal
Yeah.
and parents get personal, and now it starts becoming a cancerous situation towards a team. And then the team doesn't know how to communicate with each other, and
I
now it's
know.
the coach's fault. Like everybody wants to blame the coaching.
Yeah, I know. Barnes said maybe a year ago. Sometimes you you got to try to outcoach that conversation that's happening in the car, on the way home or at the house. What I'm saying you're combating, you know, what your vision is compared to what the vision of what they're dealing with at home, and sometimes um, a lot of kids don't know how to separate that. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna do everything um, trying to please their parents, then at the same time they gotta try to do that with their coach, and sometimes that's just not aligned.
Right, right. But great points on it. I just wanted to speak on that because I knew we had a difference, pretty much the same, similar ideas, but some other stuff that was different. And then the other thing that's got me is with us having this platform, it's amazing to see coaches now trying to praise only certain players. I have a problem with that. If you're gonna praise players every single game, but don't praise players to just win somebody over, because you're not winning us over. It's only becoming a situation where it's obvious. Like every kid, it's probably a different kid every game for great teams, right? That you
Yes,
can
sir.
give, that you can say played good, but don't single out one kid and then you forgot that you've done the whole season and you're not singling out your whole team, because that's when it goes to start getting personal too, you know. But just on our half, I know we talked about it the other day. I mean, I don't know why coaches would even be praising just one player. You know what I'm saying? That just makes that, unless he's just that superstar, and you're getting those articles asking about those players, you have no choice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just to be on the platform and you just, oh, Corey Tuma, best player on the court tonight. Sometimes I think that can become a distraction to your whole team because the
I
players might see it, but the parents do.
and in this day and age, everybody sees everything. Whether they speak on it or not, that's debatable. Whether they publicly speak on it, but like you say, them private conversations, like we just said, them in the car conversations, them locker room conversations, them barbershop conversations, that stuff will come out. And so it is a very slippery slope that it seems like more coaches seem to be and Coach Monty, Mr. Riley, what's up in the chat? Twin, what's going on with your boss, man? Coach Johnson, Malate Gibson asked a question to him, and you can answer it. But it's a slippery slope as long and you can get your, but it's more people that's doing it nowadays. It's a lot more prevalent now than it used to be. So I don't know if that's a social media age. I don't know if, like Monty say, you got to do it because you don't want the kid to transfer. I guess it could be a lot of different variables, but it definitely is happening a whole lot more than it used to. And I'm with you on that. I think that's you're in a tough, you put yourself in a tough spot because the minute you don't, that's one thing I used to always try not to do, especially when I was, doing the whole admin thing. When you start to thank people and name people, you get real, because at some point you invariably, not on purpose, you're going to forget somebody, right?
Mhm.
And that person, you can name 20 people, and that one person you forgot, or that two people you forgot, man, it's going to go through the roof. So that's always a slippery slope when you start naming people.
Because that's it's that parent that feels that their son is better, right? That
Mm-hmm.
hears that, and now it's a huge distraction, especially when you lose, especially when that player has a mediocre game or a bad game. Now, oh, he's a favorite. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something I think all should watch. I mean, we can't get caught up in that moment if we're not doing it for every kid.
Yeah.
Um, so I know y'all spoke last week on the tournament. I ain't get a chance to, but shout out to Coach McGriff and the whole Bartow coaching staff for putting together another great mosaic. This was my first time in a couple of years being able to sit there and watch both days, like be able to watch some good basketball. Um, so shout out to them. But that was all for two mistakes, man. I wasn't gonna go in too hard.
Okay, they got the kid glove right now, huh?
I'm a little too hated right now, man, for nothing. I ain't even listen. I ain't been around, man.
Yeah, you've been incognito, but they show you don't have to be around to be in the conversation clearly.
long as y'all keep up, I'm okay.
Yes, sir. You know we got you. There ain't even no question on that. So, Coach, you got anything in the corner, sir?
Man, my team didn't make the playoffs.
What?
What should I be doing as a coach, as a program, and as a player right now?
As a coach, I should be putting my jerseys to the left and my. I'm sorry, that was too. You logged that one over the plate, Coach. But as a coach, man, I guess you gotta do your end of the year inventory, right? If for your seniors, you trying to put them in position for whatever the next step gonna be. If it's if they go into college, if they go into the military, workforce, you trying to put your people in position. Frank, he threw that one over the plate. You can't blame me on that one. That and T and J, man, he lobbed that one over the plate. I had to take one swing, but I'm back now. So you having them end of the year meeting with your seniors, trying to see how can you support them? They need letters of recommendation. Want to make sure they transcript straight. You want to make sure they graduate from high school, so make sure they in position to actually walk across the stage with a diploma, and get them situated. So that's your seniors, your underclassmen. I don't know. I say it's a long. It seems like this year. I don't know. It seems like the season been a little longer than normal. I don't know, but I say give them a. I guess you having the end of the season meeting with your underclassmen too, and just kind of get their thoughts. I mean, you playing travel ball? Are you playing another sport? Like, kind of what is it that you gonna have going on? But also with them, make sure that they don't forget that school is going on, because sometimes when that season over with, class don't become as important. So you don't want to lose nobody. And then that's the end of the year conversations individually. As a team, maybe I may take a break until the end of the season, try to refresh, and then by the time the season over, we'll have a plan for what we're gonna do for us, spring. Because at this point, I guess you got to evaluate if you got football kids. Because if it's football kids, you kind of got to leave them alone for a little while. But the rest of the kids, we kind of trying to figure out what we're going to do, because the only way we're going to get better is by working, right? The winner is the worker, I guess. But that would be, I guess, my quick synopsis of it, if it was me being serious.
Okay.
So, I mean, but it's the end of the year is always tough, man, because you don't put all this work and time, been traveling, you've been doing, and especially if you had high hopes, and things didn't pan out for you, then that becomes tough. So sometimes just stepping away from it for a little while just to let it kind of, wash itself out. But like I say, it's tough because nowadays this stuff has become year round now. So everybody's playing, so you don't want to fall behind. You don't want to start looking to next year, but I mean, what choice do you have if this is already a done deal? But that would be my thing. Just closing out your seniors and trying to get an idea for your underclassmen to make sure that they doing what they need to do, and then in a couple of weeks we'll have a meeting as a team and kind of lay out what the spring look like and the summer look like, because you got to go ahead and start planning, right? Because people are not sitting down anymore, right? So that would be my little take on that.
All right.
So, all right, man. Well, we'll jump into what we've been waiting for. So, as Chris Query said, Pastor, appreciate you tapping in with us tonight. What's going on, Newt? They finally released the brackets, and we got 11 teams. First off, we got 11 teams in. So I think that's the over, right? So we said 10 was the number, so we got 11. So we got over what we said. That's the good news. But let's get into the matchups. First of all, it's great news, right? we got 11 teams that are still in the hunt. Whatever the situation is, 11 teams are 0-0. Now it's a 1-game season for everybody that starts on Saturday night, right? Starts on Saturday night. And so we're going to go from rural up to 7A. So we'll go smallest to biggest. And we'll just talk about it. All right. We know that there was a lot of conversation on the page. We took some shots on the page, but you know what's new? We always taking shots. But we here for it. We built for it, and if not us, then who? So one thing you know what us three gonna do, we're gonna be objective. We're gonna tell the truth. We are for all teams. So we don't have to worry about any type of bias. But we understand everybody has their team they're rooting for. So good luck to all the teams before we start. But on the rule, Fort Meade won their district. So first of all, shout out to Fort Meade, Coach Wilson and the squad and the team. I think that's the first district since like 2009, something like that, 2016. Been at least 10 years since they won a district championship. I know that the semifinal game when they beat Marathon, Coach Wilson was over there leading the band and everything. So so happy for Coach Wilson, man, and his guys down there. So they won their district, and that earned them the 3 seed. So in rural, y'all, it's less teams. So their Saturday will start with the regional semifinals. So they skip around. They don't start with the quarterfinals like everybody else. They don't do 8 teams. They do 4 teams. So Fort Meade comes in as the 3 seed, and they will be on the road against Williston. I don't even know where Williston's at, y'all. I just know that they're on the road, and so they're the 3 seed, and then the 1 seed is actually Wildwood. Wildwood is number 1 in the region, and they're number 1 in the state in rural, and they take on the 4 seed Hawthorne. Now in that matchup, we got Williston. Just to give you all a real quick thing, and you all know we'll type it up and put it on the page. Now that it's official, and we know who is playing who. So we'll give you more information. But just right now for the conversation, Williston has where is it at? Williston has 2 kids. They got a kid named Treyerton Armstrong, averaging 16 a game. 6'5" kid, Jaden McGee, averaging a double 10 and 10. We know Fort Meade has plenty of speed, talent, athleticism. So, Coach, just right now, Fort Meade on the road. So they get a district championship and they got to travel. A lot of people are very confused with the state rankings and seedings and how things panned out, especially as we get up in the bigger class, which we'll talk about in a minute. But for us, Fort Meade, what's your take on them? And PJ, I don't know if you can hear us or not, but what's your take on Fort Meade? First of all, getting in, but then having to go on the road even as a district champ.
First of all, shout out to Coach Wilson and that team for having a great season. Only losing 1 game, taking care of business to put them in position to, have one of their greatest seasons ever. Unfortunately, they got to travel 2.5 hours to defending back-to-back state champion. You know what I'm saying? And Williston just beat Wildwood.
Just beat Wildwood, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is the number 1 seed. You know what I'm saying? So, we rooting for Coach Wilson and the Miners, and we hoping they put together a great game plan and go up there and steal a win. But from the basketball meet, you know what I'm saying, say that's gonna be they're gonna have to play a perfect game.
So you win the district, you have the best season probably in school history. You only got 1 loss, and your reward is you got to travel to the 2-time. No, it's not 2-time, I guess. Not because they didn't win last year, right? So back-to-back state champs in 23 and 24, and the same team that just knocked off the number 1 team in the state and the number 1 team in the region.
That is
Well,
fact. So
Coach, I mean, you literally that's almost. We'll talk about Discovery in a minute, and Spirit, you got to feel so bad for Discovery. We'll talk. Oh my God! But so that's the first night, man. That's the first game right off the top. So we ain't got no. I mean, but Fort Meade, they got to get in. They got to beat you though, right? Fort Meade, Coach Wiley, Coach Otis, they got to beat you. They got to line up and beat you. And Fort Meade got some talent. I mean, they got some talent. But they going, like you say, Coach, they gotta go and get it. But they got some guys that can. They got the Russell kid, two-sport kid, Berrien, Swain can put it in the basket. Clark is kind of do a lot of everything for them. So they got some talent, but that's gonna be a tough one. That's a tough draw for Fort Meade. That's a tough.
I think how he handles the school day is going to be very important for me. They wouldn't go to school. They'll come to school to eat breakfast. Then I will put them on the road. You know what I'm saying? Get somewhere, get a good shoot around in, have lunch, maybe get to a church or something where they can like lay down and take a nap or something.
That's that. And then thing is, Coach, you knock them off, and them people perennial state powers, and conceivably you get that win, and then you got to go right back on the road, right back up in the same area. Since PC Gridirons told me that it's in the Gainesville area. You got to go right back to Wildwood, which is and Wildwood is perennial state contender in every year too. That's right in your region. But like you say, Coach Wiley, everybody's 0-0. They got to line up and beat y'all. They got to line up and beat you. You know. So that is rural. Fort Meade, 3 seed goes to Williston. Tough draw. All right, let's go on to 1A. 1A, we got you muted, PJ. I don't know if you're talking or not.
I just had a big surprise in here for the birthday. It shocked the world. They told me they was over here arguing and fighting. They had me come over here. Got my little happy birthday song and everything. So
okay. Shout out to the PG one more time around the sun. That's what's up. So anyway, we go into 1A. 1A, the 1 seed is Victory Christian. To nobody's surprise, Victory will they will host Universal Academy. Universal Academy won their district championship. So imagine them. They win the district championship, and their gift is they get to play the number 3 team in the state, which is Victory. And so Victory seems like they got it going at the right time, as we talked about hitting the wall, and they may have hit a little wall around Christmas time, but they got off the wall and they playing great ball at the right time. So is it anything like in that region? Victory is, Victory is the 1, Universal Christian is the 8, and the 4 and 5 game, Coach, is a rematch. Shout out to All Saints, man. Coach Seibel got All Saints into the show first year in, man. So shout out to Coach Seibel. They get a rematch. They are the 5 seed, but they have to go on the road. But they already went over there and they played Sarasota Christian in a rematch, which they beat in the Christmas tournament. They went over there and beat them in their own tournament, so they get to play them again. So that's a pretty even game. So that's the 4-5 game. Then on the other side of the bracket, City of Life is a 2 seed, Canterbury, Donahue Catholic, and Everglades City. So any surprises? All Saints, I think, should beat Sarasota Christian. So we'll get a second round All Saints victory. But do we see anything? I see PG rocking the victory hat tonight. Shout out to
Coach, man.
Shout out to the brother Stacy Pugh, the head baseball coach.
Okay, baseball. Okay.
Yeah, baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Bro, my little nephew play for them. My godson play for them in baseball.
Pugh the coach.
Yeah.
And I know Coach, they building a whole new facility out there. Coach Collins in the chat. Coach Collins, what's going on, sir? Got things moving at Victory. So Victory, we don't see
Coach,
Unless
Coach, they'll run the clock better than everybody in that region. They just played the number 2 team in a district championship and beat them by a running clock. Coach, it's not even close.
so we
Like
just saying congrats on all Saints. If they can win it, if they can get a game in, that'd be great. But
mhm,
that's gonna be a tough one for them after that.
facts. And I
Okay.
love what Coach Seibel is doing over there at All Saints. And I think he'll continue to get better. But right now, that's the victory,
That's
invitational.
we're not laughing at nobody, man. That's just but you gotta tip your hat to victory is on some other stuff, man. So all right. So we're moving on to 2A. 2A is a little more interesting this year than it has been. So the 1 seed in the region is Santa Fe. To nobody's surprise, Santa Fe is checking in as the number 4 team in the state in 2A. They will host Cats Yeshiva, which is out of Boca Raton, and they are a Jewish school.
Mhm.
So got some interesting news. Coach Billy D got some interesting news right before we got on about that one. Scheduling update. But just overall in the region, Santa Fe is the 1 seed. An interesting 4-5 game. Jupiter Christian and the 5 seed, Lakeland Christian, got into the show. So shout out to Lakeland Christian. And Lakeland Christian is a dangerous team. Lakeland Christian was 1 3-pointer away from knocking off Santa Fe in the district championship. They lost 49-47. And they got 3 guys that they got Borders, who's now over there, averaging 22 a game. Howard is 18. The other, the Donahue kid is at 18. So you got 3 kids, 18, 18, 22. They can go down to Jupiter and knock off Jupiter. I kind of just eyeballed Jupiter's kind of, right before we jumped on. Um, so conceivably, Coach, we got a rematch. We got a rematch of the district championship, Santa Fe and Lakeland Christian. What's your thoughts on this 2A region? And is anybody else? I know Holy Trinity is the 2 seed, Benjamin is the 3 seed, but so one of them is going to come out the other side. But Lakeland Christian could conceivably be the second best team in that region and have to get Santa Fe in the second round.
I think Borders gave them the boost that they needed to be a contender. That kid is a difference maker when it comes to Lakeland Christian. And he was a difference maker in the game versus Santa Fe, from what I hear. I try to watch it on NFHS Network, but it's not available as of yet. But I'm interested to see how he changes the dynamic of Lakeland Christian. And if they're playing every night like they played against Santa Fe the other day, it will be a rematch in Lakeland on next Saturday.
Coach, and you got and then we know Santa Fe, they got the general, obviously, best player in the county. Whether you might have a different opinion on it. That's what we say. That's how we feel. And Santa Fe got some guys that are getting better at the right time as well with MacArthur and Newkirk. Mm-hmm. So that was it looked like Lakeland Christian kind of took the air out of the ball. I don't know, because it was a very low-scoring game. And I'm assuming it's Lakeland Christian until I kind of get my eyes on it also, because we know Santa Fe likes to play up-tempo. But what do you think, Coach, just right now, the 1 game a week playoffs? It used to be Tuesday, Saturday, or now it's Saturday. Like, what, you get a whole week now? Is that's good or bad?
It can be either, Coach. It can be good for some teams that need the preparation, maybe like a Bartow, where they expend so much energy on defense, that recovery time. And then when you give him McGriff like a week to prepare for you, he's going to get the best game plan, for you. And some, it could throw you out of rhythm, especially if you're playing well. But yeah, you played 7 days ago. So, it can get you out of rhythm. So it can go either way.
Okay. All right. So not yet, Ahmad. We getting there. All right, we're moving on to 3A, man. And so when you talk about big boy basketball, that you gotta tap into the 3A region. So we got one team that made it into the playoffs, and that is the Discovery Spartans. So shout out to Coach Weeds for getting back to the playoffs again. But you have a good season. What you 18-7 with a pretty much brand new team, and your reward for getting into the playoffs, you got a first round matchup as the 7th seed on Saturday. They get to travel to the Villages. I know, PG. So
Oh,
so it's a rematch of last year's regional semifinals where they had to go over to the region to the Villages again. So let's just break down this region for y'all, okay? For y'all that ain't paid attention yet. In this region, the 1 seed is Lake Island Prep, who is the number 3 team in the state, which y'all saw last week in Bartow. They will host the 8 seed, which is Titusville Astronaut. The 4 seed is Tampa Catholic. They will host Calvary Christian out of Clearwater. The 3 seed is Windermere Prep, who you all saw last week over in the Mosaic. They're hosting Sarasota Cardinal Mooney. And the 2 seed is the Villages, which hosts Discovery. So the 1 seed is Lake Island Prep. The 2 seed is the Villages. The 3 seed is Windermere Prep. The 4 seed is Tampa Catholic. Coach, what is?
Coach, that's a gauntlet, man.
Oh my God, Coach! If they let's just say they beat the Villages,
then you play
Windermere Prep on the road, and let's say they beat Windermere Prep. To get out of that region, they would have to beat the Villages, Windermere Prep, and Lake Island Prep back to. So you so petty, bro. What do you do, Coach? What?
Coach, like the song say, you better take it to the altar. Coach, you gonna have to take that one to the altar.
What's the game plan, bro? What this dude too is a fool, man. What I mean, you got what the day is. The day is Monday, so you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You got 4.
Oh man, he can't take the air out the ball because the Villages play on the shot clock.
Oh my God! And the playoffs, everybody play with the shot clock, right?
No, not this year. You don't have to.
Next year you have to.
Yeah.
Oh man! Well, shout out to Discovery for getting into the playoffs, man. But
Coach said they're ready for a dog fight, man. So
they gotta beat you though, man. Coach Weeds, Broke, Coach Pride, they gotta beat y'all, man.
Swing for the fences, man. Just swing for the fences.
All right, man. We gonna keep pushing, man. Oh God. We don't have anybody in 4A, man. We don't have anybody in 4A, so we're moving on to 5A. So in 5A, Tim, I'm so glad you're here, Tim. Just don't leave. Please don't you leave. If everybody else leave the chat, Tim, make sure you stay. We coming around this corner for you in a second. So 5A, we got 5A, we got Arbondale. Arbondale won the district. Shout out to Arbondale. And hey, man, just pause. If you are praying, if you are that type of person, please, man, send you a couple prayers up for Coach Robinson, man. Coach Eric Robinson. I don't know if y'all saw his post. I mean, it was private, so it wasn't for us to share it. So he shared it. So he shared that his health situation that he's going through. So man, y'all send a prayer for Coach Robinson. Support Armendale, support him, man. One of the just great guys, period. But definitely for Armendale basketball, man. So prayers for Coach Robinson. Also prayers for Coach Chip, man. Chip Clark, man. His dad, I know he had a stroke. I saw he posted that he, so y'all prayers for people, man. We talk basketball, we joke around, man, but we still, we family, man. So if something going on, man. And like I say, if that's something that you do, then you can't never have too many of them. So just want to say that real quick. But back to the regular schedule program. So Armendale won district. They knocked out Sebring on Saturday. And so they will get a home game. They are the 4 seed, and they will be hosting Daytona Beach Sea Breeze. Daytona Beach Sea Breeze, the Sand Crabs will be coming to Polk County. The rest of that region, Lecanto is the 1 seed. They will be hosting Leesburg. Leesburg is the 8 seed. The 2 seed is Ocala Vanguard. They'll be hosting Pine Ridge. And the 3 seed is New Smyrna Beach. They will be hosting Wesley Chapel. Preseason, we felt like Armendale could get out this region. We felt like Armendale had the most talent in this region, and this was a great opportunity for them. Do we feel any different now than we did start of the year?
Well, I think Coach Eric's situation really gave him something to play for. So they might come out and be the Hulk coach throughout the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? They have a reason to play. You know what I'm saying? I think that region is wide open. Like Lecanto's a 1 seed. They've shown their history over the years that they don't want to make the Final Four, so they can easily be beat. You know what I'm saying? I think Leesburg can go in there and beat them, as an 8 seed. I think that region is wide open. And like I said, Coach E, we praying for you, bro. Cancer do suck. You know what I'm saying? I've dealt with that with my family members. But we definitely been praying for you. But I think Coach E's situation has given them a reason that's going to propel them throughout the playoffs.
I love Armendale. I love them in that spot that they're in, because like you said, Lecanto definitely is susceptible. They're not no world beaters by any stretch of the imagination. So and once again, Armendale is playing good, like PG talked about earlier, at the right time. They sharing the ball, they're guarding people on defense, and if Gunter walks in the gym like he walked into the Mosaic, they will be a tough out. And between him and Lindsay, and then he got a nice support class. They play about 8-9 guys, so they got a nice little rotation. So, like you said, and then the motivation is, we know that Coach E is. I think this will be he'll coach Saturday, and then he'll be there after the 16th. He kind of takes off for his procedure. So we pulling for you, Armendale. We always pulling for Canada, but we definitely pulling for y'all. They win it for Coach E, whatever it takes. I know I ordered my play for Coach E shirt yesterday. Can't wait to get it so I can wear it with pride. But love Armendale in that 5A region. So moving on to 6A. Because we just going straight up. You almost want to skip 6A and come back to it and do 7A, but we're gonna keep the progression. So last week in the district finals.
Oh, let's skip it, bro. Let's skip it.
All right.
I gotta jump in my car, so go to 7A.
Okay. PG don't want to miss that. So we like I said, as far as Armendale got 2 guys who can get you 20. And in the playoffs, Coach, me and Coach College used to say this, you gotta have at least 2 guys that can get you 20. You got to have at least 2 more guys that you can get you 10 to 15 or 12 to 15. And then you got to have your couple more guys and get you 6 here, 6 there, 4 there. If you can get that secret sauce, you're going to be hard to beat. Because it's going to be hard for me to game plan for that many guys, especially at the high school level. College and pro is a little different. But high school level, it's going to be a little harder to deal with that. So you got Arbondale with Garner that can get you 20, and you got Lindsay who can get you 20 easy. And then Ramirez can go get you 12 or so. Sneed, the little point guard, can sneak in there and get you some. So they got a real nice mix. And I just like how they're playing, especially on defense. I think this is probably the best I've seen Arbondale play on defense. You never really have to worry about Arbondale scoring the ball. They always got kids that can score. But it's like they are taking more pride in guarding people. And, the offense will take care of itself. But if you can get some stops, and you know this, Coach, because you've been doing this with your eyes closed, you can get some stops, you got a good shot. And for that, I like the fact that they can guard some people. Okay. All right. So, having said that, we're going to 7A. We're going to come back. Tab, don't go nowhere. Lawson, don't go nowhere. So you just jumped in. Don't go nowhere. PG wants us to do 7A, then come back to 6A because he wants to be in on the 6A conversation. So, 7A, we got 2 teams in. We got 2 teams in the region. So shout out to Winter Haven for getting in, winning the district championship. And Ridge, who got in. I don't know. This has been, I think the only time Ridge got in the playoffs besides this was when Terry Rose was there. Like, throwback. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I don't think I am. But anyway, Winter Haven won the district, and they entered in as an 8 seed. So it means they had to win to get in. So they won. They got an 8 seed, so they have to travel. So even as a district championship, they got the 8 seed, and they have to go over to Sarasota, which is the 2020. Coach Blick always make sure you keep it right. So 2020 they got in. So shout out to, and this, so it's been 6 years. Shout out to Coach Skip for getting them into the show. So Winter Haven got an 8 seed. They got to go to Sarasota. So the rest of the region, you have Lehigh, which is a 4 seed, and they take on Sumner. Kissimmee Osceola is the 2 seed, and they will host Sarasota Riverview. And Ridge is the 6 seed. They have to travel to Tampa to play Tampa Plant. Tampa Plant has no stats at all on Max Plus. Nothing. They're like a ghost. But Tampa Plant lost in the district championship to Sumner. But they're in as a 3 seed, and Sumner's in as a 5 seed. So what are your thoughts on, they're both on the opposite sides of the bracket. Is it any way conceivable that we could have an all Polk County regional final with Winter Haven Ridge? Man, these guys brutal tonight, man. I know Coach Blicker plays Sarasota, so he's well aware of them. And I know Sarasota usually play, they're really solid, especially at home. So I bet that's going to be a tough one for Winter Haven. But I think Winter Haven can go in there and get it. I don't know if they will, but I think they can.
That's not what you said.
I don't know. I'm building to it, Coach. You have to you have to build. So they got to win that one, right? Winter Haven get by Sarasota. I like them against Lehigh or Sumner. Now,
Sarasota made the Final Four last year, so they riding on a little bit of confidence and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be easy. Sarasota is tough, and they tough at home, and they big and they physical and they run good stuff. So I'm not saying that it's going to be. Coach Blicker is right there with y'all. Oh man, y'all brutal tonight. So on the other side, though, I think Ridge can get Plant. I don't know if they will, but I just think they can go in there with how fast Ridge plays. I know Plant usually is very methodical. I think they can speed them up. Now, I don't know how Osceola ended up as a 2 seed. I guess that's kind of a mystery, but Sumner is solid, Coach Smith says. So you're saying that are you with Coach Blicker? You see Sarasota, Osceola in the regional final. You don't see a Polk County. Can we win a game in 7A?
Can win a game. I think Ridge is in a better position to win a game. But if Winter Haven play lights out and hit some shots early, especially Bird, Son, and Gavin, they can go in there and shock the world.
I,
But
I,
I don't
that's,
I don't know if they can put a couple games together
yeah,
either.
that's a tough one. That's gonna be a tough one. Cause Sarasota's tough at home. They like real tough. But I don't know. I just think
What's they seeding, fellas?
Winter Haven is an 8 seed. Yeah, they had to win to get in, and they won, so they got in. I don't, Coach Schaffner. I don't. I mean, I. So, and that's going to be a conversation we have here in a minute with 6A. It don't seem like strength of schedule mattered in 7A, but it did in 6A because we
I
said
don't think
all
it
year
mattered.
long.
It didn't matter because I don't know if y'all know. I don't know if y'all know. Murph got the 2 seed in 4A, right? And he knocked out. He beat Boki 2 times and has the highest strength of schedule.
But so what I'm saying, so
Yeah.
Murph had a high strength of schedule, right?
And he's still the number 2 seed, and he beat them twice.
Yeah, but wins matter also. You get more points for wins, but
Yeah.
you
Gotcha.
counter it with the strength of schedule because of Murph's strength of schedule is why he got such a high seed.
Yeah,
So
and that's gonna
we-
factor into what
yeah,
the conversation with 6A is. But so they won Santa Fe. I'm not Santa Fe. Winter Haven won the district, but they were 12-14. Ridge didn't win the district. Ridge lost in the district semis and still got a 6 seed, and they didn't have a high strength of schedule. So definitely,
yeah, they won a lot of games early. Remember, they were undefeated for a
they
long
were
time.
undefeated for a while.
You know what
So
I'm saying?
wins matter, right?
I
So
said
wins.
when they dropped games that they was gonna drop, and that's what happened. It's just that they won enough games early that they didn't drop totally out of the playoffs. They
to
just dropped
sustain it.
6.
To sustain it.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess if I'm Winter Haven, I guess I got a gripe. I won district, and Ridge didn't even make it to the district finals, and they got a higher seed than me. So that could be a legit gripe. If I'm sitting on the Winter Haven staff, I probably got a legit gripe on that one.
But I hear that, but my thing is, Winter Haven play. I was gonna always play the schedule to get that team ready, you know. But Ridge played the schedule that they played. They got them in the playoffs, but maybe it's not the schedule that they needed in order to win in the playoffs. So you could see it from both sides. You know what I'm saying? There's no right or wrong answer. You do what you need to do. Because we've seen teams win 20 some games and not get in at all. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
So how you explain that though, Coach? Because that's going to be Bart to a gripe here in a minute. But I mean, a district champ gets a lower seed than a district semifinal team that even make it to the finals. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. But I guess, like you said, you saying wins matter. So then does that throw out strength of schedule? Because Winter Haven's strength of
throw it
schedule is
out.
much higher than Ridge's.
They don't throw it out, but you know what I'm saying? You got to find that healthy balance. So
Okay. All right. Well, we that was interesting when that one popped out. That was interesting. So, all right. So let's move on to 6A. So we got two teams in 6A. The 1 seed, to nobody's surprise, is not. I'm sorry, they're not the 1 seed. Sorry, they were the 1 seed in the district. and they won the district. So by now you all know that Bartow won the district. They beat Lakeland. They beat them pretty good. You know, sausage, whatever you want to call it. They took them out behind the woodshed, all of that. So they dominated Lakeland.
BTA.
And so the reward for that is Bartow gets the 3 seed, and their first round opponent is Lakeland Dreadnoughts. So we got a rematch. So the rest of the region, before we talk about that specific game, Orlando Evans is the 1 seed. They will host Tampa Gaither, which is the 8 seed.
They got to go on the road.
No, Evans got to go to Gaither because they lost the thing. So Evans is the 1 seed, y'all. And this is how confusing it gets. Orlando Evans is the 1 seed, but they have to go to Tampa Gaither because they lost in the district tournament. Wekiva is the 4 seed. They will take on the 5 seed, which is Vieira. On the other side of the bracket, you have Orlando Edgewater, which is the 2 seed. They will host the 7 seed, which is East River. And on the other side of the bracket, you got the 3 seed Bartow, which is hosting the 6 seed Lakeland. So there are 3 teams that got in, or 4 teams that got in out of that Orlando. Evans, Edgewater, East River, and is Wekiva in that district too?
Yeah.
So 4 teams got out of 1 district, y'all, primarily because of their strength of schedule. Because East River and Wekiva didn't even make the district finals, but they both got in. And Wekiva had a higher seed than Lakeland. East River was a lower seed. So there are a lot of people that have an issue. We kind of got people kind of came for us because of the fact that we dropped Bartow in our rankings when they lost a couple games. And the rationale was they should not have dropped, even though they lost, because they beat the people that we ended up putting ahead of them. Now, what we tried to explain unsuccessfully is that if you lose games, it matters. You will drop. We tried to, you know how in the moves they give you a preview, a common attraction? We tried to give a common attraction. Well, the state didn't drop them. The y'all are the ones that dropped them. Just hold on now. Just keep watching the movie. That's what we're trying to tell y'all. Keep watching the movie. We've done this a few times. So now today, Bartow checks in as a 3 seed. Why are they checking as a 3 seed? Because the last 8 games, Bartow went 4-4. And even if y'all watch y'all coach today on his platform, Mondays with McGriff, the same thing that I'm about to say that I got in my notes. It's the same thing. Can y'all see my notes? Maybe you can't because my screen ain't acting right. But the same thing that I got in my notes is the same thing he said on his show. If you beat Providence, which you should have beat, if you beat, you had victory at the half. If you beat one, and I know if it was a 5th, we all be drunk, but you lost these games, and losing those games dropped you in the rankings. What ranks did they drop you in, Polk? The playoff rankings. If you win them games, you are a 1 seed right now. You didn't win those games, so you are a 3 seed. That's all we was trying to tell y'all, but y'all didn't want to hear it. Y'all didn't want to hear it.
Coach, I think they were just caught up with the teams that was above them. We're not basically saying that those teams are better. We just saying that if you lose, you're not rewarded for that. That's what happened in the college rankings. If you lose, you drop.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Like Duke just lost to North Carolina, and I'm sure Duke was in the top 4 or 5. They're not gonna stay. They're not gonna stay number 4 this week. They're gonna get knocked down to probably 6.
They're gonna drop. That's just the nature of the beast. Houston was 5-2 2 weeks ago. They lost. They dropped to number 11. You lose, you drop. That's just the nature of the beast.
I think they were just more caught up with the other teams. Like I said, we're not saying that they're better.
And we're just saying if you lose, you have to. That's just how rankings go. If you lose, you drop. You win, you don't. And then let's look at like Lakeland last 3 games. Lakeland, yeah, we're talking about Polk, but we're being objective with it as well. Teb and Miss Martell and everybody from Bartow. We're just trying to tell y'all how the stuff go. We don't rankings don't you. It's what you do week to week. It doesn't go. Oh, you lost 4 out of 6, but you beat Lakeland. You lost 4 out of 6, but you beat Arbondale. If Arbondale done won 10 games in a row, they're going to rise in the rankings. If Lakeland has won 6 in a row and y'all losing 4 in a row, that's not how rankings go. So what we do is we take all of the feelings out of it. We're just numbers, we're just objective, and that's not always well done. It's a reason why a lot of people don't do rankings because of this. We don't have a problem with it. I know I don't, and my guys don't either. Because we're gonna be objective, we're gonna be fair, we're just trying. So now what? Now the state said the same thing we said. So did we make a mistake? Or did we try to give you a preview? We're just trying to tell you, Lakeland got a 6 seed because their last 3 games, teams all have great strength of schedules. Bartow, Charlotte, and Lake Gilson. Say what you want about Lake Gilson. Lake Gilson got almost 11 points strength of schedule. That helped Lakeland. They beat them, and they got a high strength of schedule. They beat Charlotte. We said at the Mosaic when they beat Charlotte, that got them in the playoffs. Didn't we say that? Mm-hmm. So all it did was help them to jump East River when they played Lake Gibson and Bartow, because Bartow got a high strength of schedule and Lake Gibson got a high strength of schedule. All that stuff matters, and that's all we were saying. And coach and Lawson, that's all we saying. And then your coach said the same thing. If you win the games, you're the 1 seed. You lose them, you're not. That's just the nature of the beast. It's just the nature of the beast. Whether you like it or not, it is what it is. So we'll take it. We'll take the heat. But all we was trying to do was give y'all a preview of the coming attraction, which the state showed the movie today at 2:00.
Yeah, but those losses came with great repercussions, Coach, because it changed where they play at now. You know what I'm saying? So you get the 1 home game against Lakeland. Now you got to go to Orlando twice. And I'm not saying that you can't go over there and win. I think it's just a little bit tougher to go over there. You know what I'm saying? And Edgewater just blew out Evans. Beat him by like almost 30.
Who the 1 seed? Edgewater?
Evans.
Evans the 1 seed and just got blitzed by Edgewater, and they got to go on the road the first game. So we're not saying it's a perfect system. It's more questions than answers. We don't make the system. We're just trying to do our best to understand it, and more importantly, help y'all understand it. And even when you do all that, people still gonna have issues, not agree with it, come for us. That's all in good. But are we surprised that Bartow's a 3 seed? No. We ain't surprised. Y'all coach ain't surprised. If you talk to him, and you know we talk to him, I talk to him. We've been at this going on 40 years. So he ain't surprised. But he can put his finger right on the games that would have had them as a 1 seed. Now, does it make sense? No. Do we expect y'all agree with it or understand it? No. Does it make sense to us? No. But all we can do is live by what they got in place. Like we just said in 7A, Winter Haven got a legit grant. We won district and we're 8 seed. Ridge ain't make it out the district and they are 6 seeds. I mean, it from region to region, or class to class, it go opposite ways. But yeah, Wally, I mean, we got to talk about it because the rankings impact who you play. Because you look at Bartow now, conceivably, they got to play Lakeland for a 3rd time. Then
Coach, they was in their feelings. They was out our net about them rankings, Coach.
Coach, they say they don't care until we post them. And if your team ain't where you think your team should be, boy, we everything but the child of God, and we close to that in some cases. And all we trying to do is be objective, coach. All we trying to do is be objective. And but and that's what I'm saying, Lawson. I mean, Evans they lost and still kept the 1 seed.
But Evans' strength of schedule is so much higher.
But
Like
Evans' strength of schedule is 100, like 100. What we talking about?
Bartow played some good teams this year, but their strength of schedule wasn't near what Edgewater and Evans were. Yeah. Unfortunately.
And that's the thing, Jacob Ramsey. That's what they say. They say we made Lakeland get beat like that because we put Lakeland ahead of Bartow. Okay, can't put it on us this Saturday because we ain't even do no rankings this week because it's all 0-0. So the thing about it is, now let's talk about the game, Coach. Bartow Lakeland for a third time. Is who has more pressure on them in PGU 2? Is it Lakeland because they haven't won and they just got beat to death? Or is it Bartow because they have won and they beat them to death? How hard? Who is going to have the tougher job to get their kids ready to go on Saturday, McGriff or Hen? Because once you beat somebody to sleep and you got young kids, it's hard to make them think that people can compete. Or once you done got beat to sleep, it's hard to think that you can compete. So who has a tougher job and who has more pressure, Lakeland or Bartow?
I think Bartow has more pressure. McGriff has more pressure. Because he's got to find a way to motivate his kids to get up for Lakeland and not look over them. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to look over them when you beat somebody like that. But let me remind them, a few years ago when they were the 1 seed and the 8 seed Kathleen came in there and beat them on their own court. So it's not like it can't happen. What you try to do is prepare your team the best in practice so it doesn't happen. And I talked to McGriff today, and I think the way he's approaching this week, he's got a great game plan for it, and he'll be ready. But I think it's more the pressure on them. Lakeland ain't got nothing to lose. Like, come on, man, you just got beat to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So nobody's giving you a chance. So why not just go in here and play the game of your life and shock the world? And coach, just looking at strength of schedule, Bartow's strength of schedule this year was 14.8 compared to Edgewater, which is 21, right? So their strength of schedule is 21, and basically Evans' strength of schedule was 20. You know what I'm saying? Wins matter, but who you get those wins against matter also. Even though that they don't have the same amount of wins as Bartow, their strength of schedule is, 5 to 6 points higher. Not 0.6 or 0.5, it's 5 points higher. So,
and to your point, the teams in that 4-4 stretch, the teams that Bartow has beaten in that 4-4 stretch. Now, being fair, they lost to the Villages, Lake Island Prep, Providence, and Victor. All top 5 teams. So they lost to some great team. But who they beat Lakeland, they beat Horizon, they beat Avon Park, they beat Lake Wells. Now, if we look at the last 8 for Edgewater and Evans, I don't have it in front of me, but I'm pretty sure the people they beat were a little better than Lakeland, Horizon, Avon Park, and Lake Wells. That's not us. That's not Polk. That's just the facts. That's just how this stuff works. And whether you like it or not, whether you come for us or not, whether you're in the comments, whether you calling us out, whether we don't know what we're talking about, whether we made a mistake or not, the fact of the matter is that's what got Bartow as a 3 seed, having to play Lakeland for a third time. Mm-hmm. And that's all I'm saying. The stuff at the end of the day, the stuff matters. Now, is it a perfect science to it? No, it's not. Would McGriff or Bartow rather not play Lakeland again? I know they would not rather play Lakeland. The worst thing to do is to play a team you just beat by 40 the next game. the worst thing. I don't care. Any coach will tell you that because no matter what I'm saying to a 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old, all they see in their head is we just drugged them by 40. That's all
Hey,
they
bro.
see. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
bro.
Yes,
Well, if
sir.
I beat you by 40, I'm ready to play you again.
But is you ready to play again? But is the coach telling you, man, they can knock us off, man, they can beat us? Are you listening to any of that? You just beat me by 40.
I
Coach,
just
yeah, I
beat
hear
you.
you. Coach. Yeah, coach, I hear you, man. We just drilled that. We just beat them by 40. I hear you, coach, but we just beat the brakes off these people. Like, I don't know how, and I know McGriff is a master of, he'll use all the tricks. He's been doing it. But at the end of the day, man, we just beat them people by 40. Tibbs was saying it. Word was saying that all the Bartow people, man, we just beat them by 40. Lawson just said, I'm tired of beating Lakeland. So even the coaches are like, man, what? Like, so how do you get them to even consider Lakeland got a shot? Nobody in the chat, PC Gridiron, Frank, did not. None of them feel like these people got a shot.
No, but like I said,
Billy D.
Yeah,
You feel like they got a shot?
a shot.
Yeah.
I think it'll be closer. No, but I don't think they'll win.
Oh, it gonna get down to 20? That's what you saying?
Yeah.
It's tough to beat somebody 3 times. I don't care how bad you beat them.
Agreed.
It's tough to beat them because we're dealing with kids, and we're dealing with, and in Bartow's case, we're dealing with young kids. He got 2 seniors. The rest of them are all young kids.
But
this their first time in the playoff. I'm just putting it out there, coach. I'm not saying who's gonna win left or right. I'm just saying the mindset of a kid. We all done dealt with this, coach, where you done beat somebody to death, and no matter what you saying, them kids don't hear nothing you saying. We don't. So nobody is giving Lakeland a chance. Everybody thinking Frank says it's gonna be worse the second time. I mean, the third time, I guess. It's going to be 40 this time. So if that's what the adults are saying and thinking, besides the Bartow coaching staff that's saying, hey, man, we better be ready to play. These people can beat us. Nobody else believes that, grown up or child.
I believe it. No, I believe Lakeland can beat them.
Nobody else believes that they can beat them. Look at the chat. Look at the chat. Nobody in this chat is giving Lakeland a shot within 30 points. And that's dangerous. I'm not saying it's going to matter. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that's dangerous because all you're hearing is what can't happen. And like you just said, Coach, if we do a history lesson, and I'm sure McGriff is using this because he's a master at it, we were saying the same thing about Kathleen and Bartow a couple years ago. If y'all remember in the chat, Bartow had beat the brakes off Kathleen twice. Kathleen just slid in as an 8 seed, barely got in the door, and went in Bartow and knocked Bartow off. I ain't saying history gonna repeat itself, but I am saying that
it's a trap game. It's definitely
it's a trap game, Coach. Especially if I'm looking ahead to Edgewater. I'm looking ahead to I got to get ready to go to Orlando next game. Not saying it's gonna happen, but I'm just saying it done happened before. And you dealing with kids, and the mindset of a kid when you done beat somebody, and you got people at the house saying we done drug them by 14 and 40, and the street saying you drug them in the barbershop and the mall, and you got all week to hear it, Coach. If it was me, I'd rather play sooner. I wouldn't want to play Saturday. I want to go ahead and play because the longer I gotta wait, the more opportunity people gonna be talking about it. That's all I'm saying. So I guarantee you, plenty of people say that wasn't going to happen with, a couple of years ago with Kathleen either, y'all in the chat. And it happened. Okay? It happened. So anyway, that game will be Saturday night. All these games are Saturday night. Valentine's Day.
Except,
so Coach, you can help us out. It's one game that is not on Saturday. and Coach got the call right before we jumped on. So, Coach, we got a schedule update for one of our games, so he'll let you know right now.
All right, so breaking news live on Polk Hoops. The Santa Fe game will be played at 6 o'clock at Santa Fe on Thursday evening. So Santa Fe will be played at 6 o'clock on Thursday evening. I'm pretty sure everybody want to know a reason. It is some religious reasons of the team that they play. They cannot play on Saturday. So therefore, there was a call in agreement in Gainesville that they moved their game to Thursday at 6 o'clock. So if anybody going to the Santa Fe game, do not go there on Saturday. You will see an empty gym. Thursday, 6 o'clock at Santa Fe Catholic High School.
Man, if I'm Lakeland, I'm trying to be religious too.
I wouldn't want to play that long if I didn't have to. I just, like I said, so Santa Fe will play Thursday, which is crazy because you have practice and then you hear, oh, by the way, your game got moved up 2 whole days. Like, where they do that at, And I'm the 1 seed, and I'm the district champ. I'm the 1 seed in the region, and I got to, and I don't want to get in no trouble with nobody. So let me make sure I keep this. This is strictly about sports. This is not religion. This is not anything else. But if I'm the 1 seed, that's tough. That's tough, and hopefully it won't matter to Santa Fe. But I know I can't imagine Coach Bluck is happy about that, or his coaches or his kids. But what can you do? But the thing about it is, at the end of the day, that game, it's a lot of games that potentially can be some 2 times and 3 time games. So we got a potential for a couple of second round Polk County games, which would be great for the county. So right now, guys, over under, we got 11 teams in. Congrats to those 11. How many make it to Jacksonville?
Name them again.
All right, we got Fort Meade. We got Lakeland, Fort Meade, Victory, All Saints, Santa Fe, Lakeland Christian, Discovery, Arbondale, Bartow. Oh, okay. My bad.
Fort Meade, Victory.
Fort Meade, Victory, All Saints, Santa Fe, Lakeland Christian.
I got 3.
Discovery, Arbondale, Bartow, Lakeland, Winter Haven, and Ridge. TG say he got 3.
He got 3 what?
Miss Alexander say she got 1. Miss Shaw say she got 1. Frank say he got 4. 3 or 4. Tim say he got 3. They talking about I'm asking how many gonna get to Jacksonville.
Oh, get to Jacksonville.
Final four.
Oh, okay. My
bad. Do you want to do moving on first or
no,
Jacksonville? I was talking about Jacksonville.
No, I just misunderstood the question. My bad. I got 2.
You got 2?
I got 2.
I got Auburndale, Santa Fe, and Victory.
Auburndale, Santa Fe, Victory. That's who you got. I got, you said 2, Coach. And so who your 2? Is it Victory, Santa Fe? That's your 2?
It was that at the beginning of the season. It's staying the same.
I like Victory as a lot. I like Santa Fe, even though I think Santa Fe gonna have a tough second round game with Lakeland Christian, but it's gonna be tough for them to beat Santa Fe at home. And as long as Santa Fe got Toby, I like Santa Fe.
But even if they don't win, I like Lakeland Christian to make it, so it's still 2.
Whoever win that second round game coming out that region, Santa Fe or Lakeland Christian. Lakeland Christian is real dangerous. That they didn't do Santa Fe no favors putting Lakeland Christian. I know they didn't put them. It's just
what's so special about Lakeland Christian now?
They got the Borders kid with the other. They got 3 kids that can get 20. Coach, 3 Borders can get 20, averaging 20. DJ Howard averaging 20, 18, and the Donahue kid averaging 18. So they got some guys.
They run good stuff and they can shoot it too.
Yeah.
I know they
Boy
coach.
is averaging 20?
Yeah.
Since he been over there, yeah, 22.
That's dope. That's good.
Yeah, he missed the three to the night. He could have beat Santa Fe. He missed the three at the buzzer. They in the district championship just Saturday. So
I'm really trying to see that game. I'm hoping they put it on.
That Lakeland Christian game is pretty.
Yeah.
Christian scared. They scared, coach. I like Armadale to come out that region. I don't think that region. I think Edom got a great shot to come out that region. Great chance to come out that region. So I'm saying I'll take 3 also. I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be tough for Bartow. Let's just say Bartow does or Lakeland, whoever wins that game. I think it's gonna be tough for them to play each other and then have to go to Edgewater and then conceivably have to go. Now, I don't know, Evans might be a little suspect though, but Edgewater's gonna be a tough one that second game for either one of those who come out that one. So I'm going with 3 also, and hopefully I'm wrong. Also. But we'll post these games, these matchups on the page for y'all and kind of give you more insight on who's playing what by Saturday. We got a couple more days than we normally do, since they not playing on Thursday, playing on Saturday. So we'll do a couple each day, just so you'll have something to keep you interested. And Coach, before we jump off on the girls' side, they did the girls as well today. So give us some insight on how the girls' side look. We always want to
I think they had
to the ladies.
5 or 6 teams make it. We made it as a 1 seed in the region. Haines City made it as a 2 seed in our region. Lakeland made it in 6A. I think they're a 6 seed.
Shout out to Lakeland, man. What they was like 1 and forever last year. They've been horrible
20,
forever.
22.
First year, Coach Red got them in the ship. So shout out, not the ship to the show. They won this championship. So shout out to Red, man.
Yeah.
And y'all too, Coach, man. Without Serenity, man, y'all still chugging along, man. So shout out to y'all. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
If y'all can keep her in prayer, she just had surgery. So
okay.
Like I said, us, Haines City, Lakeland made it. Lake Wells won their district 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're in. Lakeland Christian is in Victory Christian.
Okay.
We are representing
the girls' sides too.
Yeah.
So 11 on the boys, 6 on the girls.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 17 teams still playing. Everybody else, to the left.
All girl games are on Friday at 7.
Good. So you don't have to try to. So we got 1 boy game on Thursday. We got all the girls' games on Friday at 7 for every game, and the rest of the boys' games are on Saturday at 7. 7 p.m., y'all, not 7:30. You show up to the gym 7:30, going to be almost at halftime. So the state starts at 7, and make sure that you pull up, man. Pull up and support the kids. It is the playoffs. It is win or go home. So, Coach, before we jump off, PG, before we go off, what advice do you got for these teams as they get ready for Saturday? Because you got to win to move on. So what will it take?
Don't get sausage put in you.
That's the game plan. Don't get the sausage put in you. Okay. All right. So no sausage. Coach, what you got to add? Anything you can add for that? Or that's just
for the teams that got to travel, I've seen the coach ask a question. If you got to travel pretty far, I will leave really, really early. And I will have a game plan of getting to that area, find a place to get a good shoot around, have lunch, and maybe even get a nap beforehand. But I would take your kids. I wouldn't even let them go to school. That's a distraction. If they went, they don't go to no classes. Maybe have breakfast, some type of pep rally or something, or send off or something. But I would try to get out of there and get up there early and have the day mapped out. Next thing is, kids, make sure you don't do nothing to hurt your team. Don't make any decisions, not only at school but at home. You know what I'm saying? I don't see it where a kid got in trouble at home and parents didn't allow them to play in the playoffs. Cost the team a Final Four appearance because of that. Just be locked in. You need to have a great week of practice preparation. You know what I'm saying? Get a lot of shots up. At this point in time, I don't think you need to have 2.5, 3 hour practices. Maybe the first 2 days you have a tough practice, but then you have to back off their legs to make sure that they're fresh and ready to go. Nutrition is important. Getting a good night's sleep is important. Watching film is important. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you don't take nobody lightly because it could be the last time you put that uniform on this year. So what we telling our kids is just making sure that we don't take nobody for granted. We want to prepare, as if it's the state championship. It's a 1-game state championship every week. So
that's a big point about getting legs rested, because this probably the biggest year I've seen in recent memory, as many teams that don't have like the depth. When I'm saying depth, I'm talking about like, normally you put 15 players on your team, on your roster. People got 9 players, 8 players, 10. I mean, it's like you don't even have like the whole 15 max allotment. So and if you plan, and some people not even playing all the guys them 9 that they got. So it definitely that's a good nugget to, because conceivably you got how many more games to win state if everybody except Fort Meade, quarters, semis, regional, you got to win 5 games, right? And at this time of the year, that's that. But the great thing, I guess, the state is giving you some time in between games, so you can build a rest day in there if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't got to play for a whole week. So if I win on Saturday, I can rest on. I mean, most people probably ain't gonna do it, but I can rest Sunday and conceivably, do a light shoot around a fence study Monday and still got 4 days to get some good, good time in. So it definitely, in the season, you don't have no 4 days in between games to prepare for nobody. So it's definitely advantageous for the teams that are not deep, that don't have a lot of bodies, that they can kind of factor that in. So that's an interesting point that is going to benefit, I think, some of our teams more so in years past. So, all right, man. Well, we got it, man. That 11 teams in. We kind of talked about every game. Like I said, we'll post it on the page as well. Appreciate all of the action in the chat tonight. Very, very, very good combo. Hopefully we help y'all out with a little bit of how stuff goes. I know some of y'all is probably still clear as mud. For us, in some cases, clear as mud too. We just try to look at what they do and make sense and understand it to the best and try to present it to you all. And we know it's not always going to be it's not going to always be well received, but all we can do is be consistent, be objective, and do the best we can for all the teams involved. We all Polk County. We at least got one team on the board side because it's all Polk County regional quarters. But we predict that we'll have plenty of teams that'll move on and play for a couple weeks. Coach Blicker, they do. I like I said, I'm trying to be cautious with the whole religion thing, but they definitely do you no favors. I ain't never heard nothing like that before in my life, but you just got to be careful with how you frame that. For you to be the 1 seed and got to take 2 days off your prep, that's crazy. That's real crazy. So. All right, man. Appreciate y'all rocking with us tonight, man. Special edition on Monday night. Great interaction, but we thank y'all for your support as always. We'll make sure and get all this info to you on the page so you'll know. Make sure you plan to get out here and support these kids, support these programs, man. Remember, it's Polk against everybody. Polk against everybody. And good luck to all the teams that are still playing. Congrats and everybody who's done. Great season. Till next time, man. Polk Hoops, we out. Y'all be safe. Appreciate y'all rocking with us.